3 live.
You're now watching two old farts making noises.
Joe, do you want to know why some businesses succeed and some businesses fail? Why some businesses grow and some businesses don't? That's what this show is all about. Business, business, business. Wow, I like that.
All right. We're all various guests now, various members.
No, it's a host and various guests.
Welcome back to the Lost Dollar Business Club. Thank you for that new intro, David, and good to see you back.
Thank you. Rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, John lost $20, but it is what it is.
So, he did make it back. But the business we're talking about today is social media, and if there isn't a bigger business than that these days, I mean, that's a big business. So we'll talk about the effect of social media on youth, the TikTok algorithm and how it plays with U.S. versus Chinese citizens, and the digital twins. If you saw the Social Dilemma, all these social media organizations have a digital twin, an avatar of you, so that they can try to predict what you're going to do in different scenarios. So those 3 parts are pretty big in terms of social media.
Yeah. And we're
get the freedom and the flexibility of remote work in the lucrative tech industry. Bend your life around the world. Bandicoot is the premier course and community for thriving in a remote tech career. Join the revolution today. Bandicoot.com. Official partner of the Lost Dollar Business Club. All right, and we're back.
Hey, we are on social media. We're on YouTube and we're on Thread,
LinkedIn. You got on Threads. I
got on Thread the morning it came out because I read an article. I think, we should be on Thread. So I posted. I think I have like 5 people following us. We're kind of on Facebook. We don't do a lot of work there because it doesn't really do much. We're on TikTok, but every time we post one of our AI series, it kicks us off. So I'm like, I'm done with TikTok. So we're really on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Thread, kinda. I think that's all our social media. And and we podcast. We have podcasts, of course. And I don't know if I consider a podcast social media.
And we have a Mastodon or whatever it is account and Snapchat. But
wow,
we do have a Snapchat. Who knew?
You have a Mastodon.
Who knew? Yeah,
that's impressive.
Who knew? Yeah.
Who knew? Well, we also have Linktree, so you can go to any of our stuff. You go to Linktree, you can find all our media. But I also know that everything on social media is true. I believe in lizard people. Yeah.
Well, that was a number one topic for a lifespan.org study on social media. Right. And it started off, the first topic it says is, well, look, social media, online versus reality. The online world is not reality, and people get under the illusion that it is. Friends on social media, are they really friends, or are they just strangers that you happen to see their stuff on Instagram? So,
you see, we have a lot of followers on Instagram, which we're very thankful for. But yes. I don't consider them friends or acquaintances. I just consider them people that follow us. So like and now we have, like you guys, we have hosts of our shows, and I consider them friends, if you will, because we see them once a week or once a month and we talk hours after the show or before. So there's a relationship there.
And that's actual communication versus what social media promotes, which is a lot of self-promotion in some way. I mean, there are some good things about it, of course, but
really? And what would they?
Yes, what's the good things of social media, Michael?
Well, I think that,
come on, Michael, tell us.
I do think that I've used social media since the early days of Facebook, so that would put me in 2005, and it does give you some ability. It's almost like a live address book. So you get a chance to connect with people from your past that you haven't maybe talked to in a while. and then you can at least get some sense of what's going on before you pick up the phone and actually talk to them. Or maybe organizing events. I think it's great for organizing events, having discussions in different group chats, like or different groups, like in our town in Little Shushan, we have 700 people, and we actually have more people than that on the Friends of Shushan Facebook group. So people trade things, and Facebook Marketplace. I mean, Facebook Marketplace, get cheap, good things that are the used secondhand market.
That's where my friend found his wife. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, from the Philippines.
Nice, yeah.
I don't.
You guys not think that there's any good of it? Do you think there's not any good of it?
No. I think social media platforms are very interesting if they're used properly. I know one of the big things we're going to talk about, and I'll kind of, I guess, segue there, is TikTok. TikTok in the United States, from what I don't watch the videos when I used to post. I just post our stuff and go, which would be like shorts of you guys or shorts of this show. But friends of mine will show me TikToks of like people dancing and people doing stupid stuff. And then I read this article either in The Economist or the Financial Times. And why they're not sponsoring it, I don't know. Anyway, but I read this article and it said that in China, their TikTok shows you like how to be a doctor, how to be a lawyer, how to like do math. And I'm thinking, our TikTok doesn't show that. Our TikTok just shows stupid people doing stupid things. Yes. And I think that goes with the mentality of the country. Because even our Instagram, I don't find anything redeeming. I'm not saying the stuff I post is redeeming, but
curate Instagram.
Maybe that's just the mentality of the Western world, because it seems that the Chinese are quite happy. It's not just a US thing. I mean, here it's all TikTok this and TikTok that. But it's just should we say very, very poor porridge that we're being served. And people live on this stuff, it's all about, I'm on TikTok, I've got this, I've got that, But I'm probably saying that because we've been trying all year to get our TikTok numbers up, and I'm trying to be a TikTok star before I'm 80. So I suppose a little bit of sour grapes from there. So.
David's got a week and a half for that to happen, so help him out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I find it fascinating though that different cultures promote different things. I say to my stepson, you need to. Well, he's going to be in 8th grade. What are you going to do for college? What are you going to do for this? And they're like, well, Mr. Beats, I don't care what Mr. Beats does. You're not going to be a YouTuber. You are not going to get 1 billion followers. Full stop. Like that's not your personality. You don't have any gumption to do. What are you going to go to school for? What are you going to be? And all these kids just sit there and they watch stuff. So now we've limited his laptop or his like media for an hour a day. He can play chess on a computer for 3 hours a day. You can watch stupid YouTube for an hour, and you better be doing your extra homework and all this other stuff. But that's us putting it in. But most kids,
it's fun to be in Uncle Steven's house, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's like being worse in a Nazi concentration camp. Let me tell you.
It also has it's got sort of hints of David Copperfield, hasn't it?
Listen,
excuse me, can I have another YouTube video to watch?
No, you can't. Just like that. Here's the thing: when I was a kid, I paid my way through a private high school, so I started to work. When I was like 6 to go do stuff. But when I was 12 years old,
I wish we had some violins we could play.
I actually worked, and this is what I'm trying to instill in them. Really? No, I did, and I'll tell you the story off air. But I was working at this school. I would pump gas in their buses in the morning, go to class. Then in the afternoon, I would work on the buses, change the oil, pump gas again.
I would go home at 8 o'clock. Stephen, what's this got to do with social media?
Yeah,
this is the problem. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. It's a social thing, right? But you have to. You have
everything's an evolution. So.
No, I don't. Yeah, but doesn't make it right. Yeah. And I think today the kids are just. I think parents. I'm going to go with what I always say on every show. Yeah. Parents are lazy, and the children of today, most of them, and a large percentage of them are stupid. Okay. Yeah. Full stop.
The ones who aren't can differentiate themselves much more easily, and they should do that. And the people listening to the show, we hope that you fall in the category of you're doing your work. You're not spending 4 or 5 hours a day on social media, which is it sounds like that's kind of the average now for people under 25.
Wow.
That's pretty
Most
dramatic.
of them are watching our channel, so we're pleased about that. But
that's right. If you're watching our channel, you can watch 10 hours a day. But any other stuff.
What's the difference between kids in the 50s and 60s and 70s watching TV? And I mean, at least the thing was that you knew exactly where they were. They all had to sit in front of the cathode tube and look at it. And now they're all scurrying off into tiny little rooms and tiny little places.
The difference back in the 50s is you had 3 shows. You had 3 television shows in the 50s. You couldn't watch it 12 hours a day.
Well, it wasn't geared to the individual. And if you saw the movie The Social Dilemma, it talks about how all these social media companies create this digital twin, this digital avatar, to simulate what each individual would do to make the platform more addicting. Oh, and then you put me on.
Well, talking about addiction, I don't know if you guys, I heard this morning on the news, which was very relevant, I thought. But there's a gorilla in a zoo in Toronto, I think, and it's sort of divorced itself from the rest of the what's the collective noun for gorillas? Troop, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
He's sort of he's divorced himself from that because it found that sitting by the glass windows, that people would come along and show it films on their smartphones. Right. And this gorilla has become addicted, and that's all he wants to do all day is watch films on people's smartphones. And it's and now that this behavior is such that he's totally divorced himself from the rest of the troop. So So being a qualified shaved monkey myself, I can understand why he's doing it. But
the social media, like anything on the internet, is a tool, right? And it's a tool not unlike having a car, right? Now you can use a car to get from A to B, to get from work and back, and get your groceries and do all those things. But going back to culture, if you look at the difference between Chinese culture and Western culture, in the West, we're using the car to do donuts in the parking lot.
That's true. That's true.
It seems that way. I mean, I have a big sigh for that one because I don't think it has to be that way. It seems like, I mean, if you look at TikTok as an example, we don't know whether it's just reflecting what people are doing or that there's actually some malicious intent in the algorithm itself meant to slowly gear people away from intelligent videos and into actually
malicious intent. I'm going with malicious intent, and here's why. Because
with that sort of statement, if you could verbally just take out the word social media and add heroin or crack cocaine in there, you come out with exactly the same, do you not? That it's feeding something. It has found a place, social media, whoever's running it or whatever, and whether or not it's intentional or not, it is being used in an intentional way.
But TikTok is different though, because TikTok, the way its algorithms are over here, and they've done reports on it, is in China, it's all work hard, study, become successful. In America, it's like, we're just going to dumb you down. But like, I won't put TikTok on my phone or my iPad, nothing. Like, I use TikTok on a laptop because when you read the terms and conditions, yes, I'm the only idiot in the world that reads this stuff. Mm-hmm. Once you put it on your phone, they have access to your photos, your contacts, your count. They have access to everything. And I'm like,
as does Facebook and Google.
I have nothing. None of that stuff's on my phone. It's all on my laptop, and my laptop's just used for us. So I don't care. You can have access to all our crap. I don't care. And that's it. I don't let any of them on my phone, but they all want that. And I'm kind of like, who are you to get my data? And I think that's a big thing. Like, if you want my data, pay me.
Yeah, but the thing is that's impossible, because we had this discussion, I think, yesterday as well on another show. There's a whole generation of people who are bitching about privacy and this and that, and big oil, big tech, and everything else, and they've already given everything away. Everything. It's all given away because they were offered the opportunity to look at photographs of their families, their friends, their mums and dads, their aunts and uncles. Oh, that's nice. Oh, no, what's that? What's a Facebook group? Oh, I'll be part of that. That's lovely. Make me feel all gooey and soft inside. And what did they do? Nobody read the T's and C's. Everybody gave all that data away. There's no privacy. There's no, you know, I mean,
that was the idea in the first place.
Yeah,
that was the idea of monetization in the first place. You know, that's the payoff, right? You get here you go. We'll take your $1 and here's some crack cocaine, and you just keep coming back with another $1, right? That's the whole point.
Well, do you guys remember Angry Birds?
Oh yeah.
Remember when Angry Birds first came out? It was like, that was so addictive. And there was a study done, and the reason Angry Birds, and I think the reason social media is done, is because they use the Las Vegas style of psychology, which is it's a win-lose. Like the more you do, the more you win. The more you do, the more you win. So when you post on Instagram, after a while, and I didn't know this, it says you earned a badge. I'm like, what the hell? I earned a badge? What a badge would I earn? Like, I don't know. And it says I earned a badge because we post once, at least twice a day, right? For Two Old Farts or TOF Entertainment. So it says you have a whatever badge. And then one day I got a badge that said, oh, you're a trendsetter. I'm like, you know, I'm not. So what it is, it's the Vegas style of like, oh, the more I post, the more I get. I'm like, I don't care. I post at 5 in the morning and I post at 7 at night. And if I miss a day, you know what? My day goes on and I'm happy. And I don't see our fans going, oh my God, we missed it. They don't care. It's just like, oh, cool. They posted something. We're going to see it. So I'm not addicted to it, but maybe that's
a generation,
from a different era.
Generation who are sorry, John.
But no. There's people our age and John's age, because John's like almost near death. That are addicted to it.
Doesn't matter how old you are, because they did this experiment on mice back in the 30s, I think, on addiction therapy, and basically, you know, feeding them just one thing until they needed it, and then they got 2, and then so on, and then start weaning them of it and see how they react. They've been doing the same thing to us, basically, just getting us just attached to something, make it part of your actual day-to-day, and then slowly wean you of it and see how long it takes you to start paying for it.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think all of them have a team of psychologists, psychiatrists on staff.
That's what's been said. Yeah, that's what's been said. Yeah.
That know how to, or let's just say maybe they advise the coding team on how to develop software that's, you know, as you say, addictive, right? This constant need for, you know, affirmation, for identity with the group. You know, there's all sorts of features. I'm not sort of learned in all the features that they're putting in there, but all of the stuff we're talking about is a feature. It's not a bug, right? And it's very well designed. You know, we're in a new era, right? But when Steve was growing up, which was, you know, what was it, 150 years ago?
150,000 years ago. Thank you.
So. When the wheel was just invented, you know, we didn't have all this, you know.
We didn't even have fire.
You know, everybody was in their own village, right? And now we're all connected, and we're all connected to this one marketing machine.
Yes.
Because what's amazing about, you know, TikTok, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, Google, it's all the entire business model is driven by marketing dollars.
Yeah.
And the need for you to, or for the greater population that they serve, to buy stuff. It's sort of one, and this whole addictive nature of the software is geared to, you know, to get you at the end of the day to buy something.
Right.
Yeah.
Addictive consumption.
Yeah, but it's a wonderfully well designed puzzle that you think you're participating in social and that you're making new friends, and there's a lot of that does happen, but at the end of the day, it's a very purposeful strategy to get a, you know, now a much bigger part of society to fall into sort of, I don't know if it's a trap, but into this model of, you know, how they survive and how they make gazillions of dollars.
If you think about the ways in which business was able to, for lack of a better term, extract money from the poor in the past, versus the number of ways that they can get money out of us now. I swear all those meetings in those tech firms starts with how much money, and then they start trying to create a product, because it just feels like everything, the end result is always about how they can make another dollar, how they can scrape a dollar out of your pocket.
That would be a found dollar. That would be a found dollar. I mean, some people, look, there's another side of the coin that says we want personalized advertising because it's better to get products that you actually want, to see products that you're actually looking for, to see things that you actually care about, versus general advertising, mass advertising, which is just going after a mass audience and is not personalized, is not personalized to me.
But sorry, Michael, but my dilemma there is who decides what I want?
Your algorithms on your phone or your laptop or your iPad. When you look at something, it will send you that.
I appreciate that, but who gives them the right to decide what I want?
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean,
it's like if you go to a supermarket or a market that's just normal domestic market or a farmer's market, you may go there, as they say, farmer's market. It's really simple. You may go there looking for potatoes, and you come back with sweet corn because you found it on the way through, and you thought, "Oh, that's interesting." Something else.
Yeah.
But the fact that somebody is now saying, "Oh, well, you looked yesterday for a holiday in Cambodia, so all I'm going to get for the next week every time I turn my phone on is holidays." But that's not what I was looking for.
They should randomize it a little bit, sure.
But David, David,
a little variety.
You when you signed on to any of these platforms, you signed off the right, and you gave them the right to use their software to think to learn about your behavior and come up with these suggestions.
Well, I'm well aware of that, John, and it's something we spoke about at the beginning. We've already given it all away, but I think it's really, there is a generation of people who just look at you as if say, well, you really are a boring old fart, because what are you talking about? That's not what they're doing. They're helping me connect with my friends, and they're helping me. They're helping me. There's a word I constantly hear from you. Oh, that's helped me do this. It's helped me do that. No, it hasn't helped you.
Statistically, it's actually made for much worse mental health among young people. Suicide rates are through the roof. Negative self-image issues. People who are focused on, I mean, you see these body image people who have channels that are just focused on getting your body to a certain weight or a certain look, and people are actually, young people are actually following it and causing real health problems.
Well, I know there was an article, I want to say 3 or 4 days ago in the FT, and they said there was a girl that committed suicide because of an Instagram or a Meta or Facebook post or something. And it also then went on to say because of she was getting bullying, and so she couldn't handle it. And then and I'm thinking to myself, first of all, if you're getting bullying on the internet, turn it off. And that goes back to, once again, bad parenting. When I was a kid, if you got bullied at school, right? And then you got in a fight and it was over. But today these kids are like, but they don't like me on social media. Who cares? I mean, that's the problem.
No. There's where you're naive into thinking that a 15-year-old is going to turn it off. It's their part. It's part of their world.
Okay.
Remember, this is a feature. It's to bring you in and for you, it's extremely difficult for you individually to give that up. It's let's call it an addiction, a drug. It doesn't matter what the label is, but you're part of this world, and for you to turn that off would be to close yourself from everything that's been part of your world since you grew up, right? Since you were a little toddler playing with some electronic device. So
right, but when I grew up, we had television. Okay, granted, black and white, had the rabbit ear. I don't miss, I'd rather read a book, and to this day I'd rather read a book, so I read books. I mean, the only reason I have to be on social media is because of Two Old Farts. If we didn't have our channel, and 15, 16 shows, and I have to promote it and do all this other stuff, I wouldn't be on social media. The only reason I know anything about it is one, articles, and two, because I see what we have to do things to get people to see our show. But other than that, if we didn't do this, I would be reading a book. I would have checked my emails already, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But this is the issue with parents themselves being on social media and thinking it's okay to let their very young children get on these iPads or iPhones or technology devices, smartphones. I mean, I don't have kids yet, but I would not allow them to be spend any time as a toddler or a 5-year-old or a kindergartner on these devices. There has to be an age where they're allowed to use it, and even in limited doses, because now there's no doubt that we know it's an addictive and potentially dangerous device.
I think that a lot of what we're talking about is the difference between developing as socially as human beings and social media. And I think sometimes we tend to think that there's an overlap, but there really isn't. Back in the day, before things like social media and the internet itself, we had a thing called critical thinking. Whoops, I think we just lost Florida. But
most of the country
just do that freely, and even things like bullies and whatever have you. That was part of our critical thinking, where we realized, okay, A, it isn't forever. B, it's in context, right? And yeah, you always had bullies that took it outside, but those were very few. Now everybody's afraid of their dog barking outside and calling me dog's bullying me now. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We're just socially we're not ready for all that we're handing ourselves. We haven't come forward yet as a human race to the point where we're treating each other well enough to be able to have these tools and be able to use them properly.
Well, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, though. And the same argument is with the AI. Are we really ready for AI? Lots of people think that we're not, but we're still plowing straight ahead to artificial general intelligence and maybe super intelligence. Mm-hmm. So how do you react to that?
Wait till AI gets a hold of social media and figures out the general public is stupid. Are you kidding? I so want HAL 2001 when the overlords come, the AI overlords. And my wife laughs. They talk about this. My wife, we talked about this on the show the other day. When I asked ChatGPT-4, my new best friend, to help me, I go, can you please write me? And when it's done, I always write thank you. My wife laughed at me. She goes, why are you doing that? I said, because when the overlords come, they'll be like, that was the only nice human. I'm like, I'm good. Because then when they kill everybody, it'll be me and 6 other people. And they'll be scotch and cigars until I die. I'm a happy guy. But seriously, when someone figures out
the bad news is, Stephen, the bad news is it's going to be digital scotch and digital cigars.
I'm going to kill myself.
And everything tastes like menthol.
Right. But,
menthol cigars,
But until the stockpile runs out, I'll be okay. But no, but I'm waiting for that. I mean, I know they do the fake videos of the president, and they do the fake videos, and they're really good, and they do fake videos of this and that. Like, we had a show yesterday, one of the guys sent me a video of babies skydiving over Dubai. And it's a fake AI generated video, and AI is getting that good where you can't tell the difference. He said, I was on my butt laughing. He said he was going to send it to us after the show, and he did.
But I bet somebody believes it and is going to call the child abuse, call them for child abuse.
Not in the UAE. They don't have they don't believe in they don't have an agency for child abuse. They have the shut up, why are you bothering me agency. And as we go forward with social media and we go forward with AI, at some point AI I think is going to get loose, if you will. And when it does get loose and it realizes it can manipulate a whole world, because people are so gullible, to me, that is going to be fascinating. It won't be, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just going to be like, oh, we can do this. We can do that. We can change this. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that then turns social media and what social media, just say in 5 years becomes. Because I think what social media today is at its infancy. I think when AI gets more involved, I think you'll see social media as a whole different, I don't think we can even predict what it'll look like, just say by the end of this decade.
there's a theory called the dead internet theory, and it's a theory that I think started on Reddit somewhere, and of course, because the idea is there's so much traffic on the internet, and if you actually looked at what is being said on Instagram or Twitter or any of these sites, how much of it are bots and how much of it is real humans. Right. And the argument is most of it out there is actually bots talking to themselves, trying to influence the humans by creating fake accounts. I mean, even Facebook, it's said that they have maybe 1 billion fake accounts out there. So
here's the really cool thing. You guys aren't even real. You're just AI generated. That David just sits in his basement and goes clicky, 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 clicky. So it's awesome.
Well, I did have this discussion, I think, early in the week. I just think I could still be in a coma, and and all you guys have sort of joined me once a week. It's who knows?
That's the Thursday hypothesis.
Oh, the Thursday hypothesis. Okay. Yeah.
This is all you remember, and
yeah. I mean, there are a few people who are dead to me already, John, but I'm not going to mention them on the show. But there you go.
So for you people that don't want to realize why John is dead to David, it's because John thought David apparently died and he lost $20. So there you go. Oh, football as well.
It's all about Messi. It's unfortunate,
There we go.
Yeah, the World Cup was deadly for David.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it up until somebody kept sending me messages on social media. About how wonderful the Argentinian team was. But the only time John ever speaks to me on social media. But,
so do you think
I'll be contacting you in another 4 years? You know how that is, David. Yeah, if you're still around.
I'll be dead by then. I'll be dead by then.
I will put you in that mushroom. In the mushroom.
Mushroom coffin. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the mushroom coffin.
Yeah. Make a nice goulash. Yeah, we'll make a nice goulash with you.
Michael, what were you going to say? Going back to topic.
I just wanted to end on this note before we get into the lost and found. There are lots of websites that say to parents, they address parents and say, look, set limits, monitor their accounts, explain what's not okay, encourage face-to-face contact with friends, get out of the house, get off social media, and talk about social media. How many parents are actually doing this? How many will do it? I hope more. I don't know.
Here's what I look at that. That's a load of crap. It's no different than this rating system for movies, GP 13. Like if you're so worried about kid going into an R movie or a TV MA movie or whatever, then don't make them. But you know why they make them? Because I don't know what Mission Impossible 7 is rated, but we went and we took our 13-year-old, and I was fine. It was just a lot of action, the usual Tom Cruise thing, and it was great. But I mean, there's some movies I'll see the thing and they're like, we should go see it. Like, no, you shouldn't. You're 13 years old. I mean, there's got to be a cutoff where it's like, I'm not going to take you to see certain movies. It's there's a reason you can't go to look at porn. Like there should be as a parent, you have to say that's a little too violent, or that's this, or that's that. Some of them they're funny, so they get the gist of it. But then when I find if we go to a movie that has an R rating with them, then he wants to discuss it. So I'm okay with that because it's like he knows it's not real. I'm like, okay. But a lot of parents just send little Timmy or David to the movie and that's it. Yeah. Or they go to the mall. I don't care what you go do. And then the kids go buy a movie ticket and then they sneak into the R movie, and it's I don't know. And then with HBO and Netflix and all that other crap, it doesn't matter anymore because I can, as a kid, can see whatever I want unless I have parental controls on all my streaming. But then that's a problem when the family wants to stream it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That doesn't happen because people are so busy doing their own, on their telephones doing their own social media stuff that they just don't get around to putting these electronic keys on
the funny thing is when I'm not too much younger than everybody else on here. Back in the day, we sneaked into a bunch of movies as well, right? Mm-hmm. And nothing new. I think the difference is now we're bombarded with so much information, so much media, so many influences that sneak into wherever could take you down a lot of blind alleys.
Yeah.
It's just a whole lot more.
Yeah.
A lot of rabbit holes.
Online literacy. We need more online literacy. Let's see how that.
Well,
get it in the schools first.
Yeah.
You got to teach kids how to read and write first.
Yeah, I think that's a whole topic in itself. Is like, where's the money going? In terms of education.
I mean, just that's a big question, because I was looking up for Bandicoot. I was looking up school districts, and I saw one district in a rural place that spends $18,000 per year on every student, and there were 500 students. So they were. I mean, sounds like a huge number to me for the fact that their proficiency was actually very low. The results that this particular school had, were very low.
Well, Bibles cost a lot of money. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and football helmets.
Bibles and football helmets. Yeah.
There you go.
Put those together.
Bibles and football helmets cost a lot of money, Mike.
Yeah. The entire political industry just on those two alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just an
Okay,
interesting
guys.
topic, guys.
Indeed. So hold on to your hats, because we're moving on.
If you like the Lost Dollar Business Club, you should subscribe. If you like it that much, you should also tell a friend of yours. So you should subscribe and like. Also, you should put comments below so we know what you're thinking. Tell us what shows you want to hear. Just help us make it better.
So who's lost $1 this week? And who's found $1 this week?
All right.
Here we are.
Lost and
found. Dun, 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 dun.
Pick us up, Kurt.
We're starting off today. I'll start off. I have several, but I'll start off with one. I read, yes, don't even, Grandpa. So Hollywood shuts down after 60 years as of yesterday. Between the writers and the actors, Hollywood is shut down because they cannot agree on new contracts. And so I said this to somebody yesterday. So they said to me, is that a lost or found? And I think it's yes to both. It's lost to one extent, but it's found to another extent, because what's going to end up happening when they did this 20 years ago, this is when reality TV kicked in. And I think what's also going to happen right now is a lot of people that are on YouTube and Instagram are going to start getting calls from Netflix and Amazon and going, hey, would you like to create stuff for us? Because there's no union for even us, right? And they could take our shows and put them on. And I think if they don't get their act together in the next couple of months, you're going to see someone at Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, someone with an IQ that goes, why don't we just get these guys? We can pay them less and they'll take it, which is probably true. And two, not only will they have followers, we can get them new followers. And I think you're going to see that happen. So I think in that part, that's a found dollar for the creative
community. A big shift.
Yeah.
I think it's a found.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
So there you go.
You ready,
I have others, but you guys can go next.
I've got a lot.
All right, so there's a former NBA player called Enes Kanter Freedom.
One more time?
Enes Kanter Freedom.
Okay.
He's a Turkish guy. He used to play for the Celtics, and he said that he started talking negatively about the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And before you know it, the endorsements stopped coming, and his career ended abruptly. And his agent calculated that he lost about $50 million because of that. So that's $1 lost for Mr. Freedom.
Wow.
Yeah. We're actually talking, about the truth, what's really going on in that that country that we're all prostituting ourselves to make a buck, which is,
John, don't hold back. Tell us what you really think, John. Don't hold back, okay?
That's right.
Speak for yourself, John.
Yeah.
You can. If you want to go to China and prostitute yourself, I'll pay the ticket.
Yeah. That's okay.
Oh,
Pinky boy there. Oh
my God.
What are friends for?
You are something. I'm going to get you back, David. Yeah. Well,
Just so you know, that little thing right there is going to be the Instagram clip of the week. We're prostituting ourselves, and David's going to send you to China to be a prostitute. That is the it'll go on Instagram later today. I'm going to love every moment of it.
Yeah, but nobody's going to see it. So that's a plus.
Actually, we do. I'm going to tell you this: we do get lots of views on Instagram for some reason.
Okay.
People do like our stuff. I don't know why.
They like our Insta.
They like that. Some days
I'm glad I'm wearing pants. Then that's all I can say.
yeah.
So, talking about pants, David, what's yours?
I've got to go. I'm normally allowed to go last, but you want to get me in early?
Oh, well, yes, because you and John are having a love affair right now.
Okay,
so, yeah.
well, talk about pants. Well, this is actually really good because it's a moment in your life where you actually are not wearing any pants, and they're probably around your ankles. And what has happened is that thank you, Kurt, that there is a Dutch company.
Of course there is.
And of course there is. And they've now expanded into the UK to enable people who are sitting with their pants around their legs, having a number 2, to contribute towards, poverty and, the well-being of people in Africa. Now, why and how? Yeah,
yes, the why and how is pretty important.
Yeah, stay with me. The company's called The Good Roll, right? And it's true. It's called The Good Roll. And they donate 50% of their net profits to building toilets in developing countries. Okay. And they've now got 233 projects going in Ghana. So they must poo a lot there. But they have this 100% bamboo toilet paper, and they're now expanding into the UK market. So, people who are having the proverbial crap in the UK can, now wipe their bums with bamboo toilet paper and support people in Africa at the same time. It's a win-win plus for me.
So when was the rollout?
Definitely.
Very cute. We have bamboo. I've tried bamboo toilet paper. It was like $30 for like 5 rolls. I was like, this is ridiculous.
You have to take
now
the
I use a Panda
first.
instead. I just take the Panda.
Take the Panda out first. It works better. So that's my found dollar.
That is awesome. Well,
by that.
At least it wasn't dried up meat or going to the moon with a vegetable ship or some crap.
This is a serious business show. So
apparently you haven't seen our shows. Now, who's?
I wasn't on the last one, and I don't think I'm going to be on the next one either.
No, next week we'll talk about who our special guest is, but we'll do that at the end.
Oh, right. Yes.
So who's up next? Is that Mr. Kurt?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to roll in after that one.
Too bad. It's all you, pal.
You're in it.
You can roll up after that one.
There you go. Michael will go last today.
Yesterday we had a tornado come through Ottawa.
Okay.
Took out hundreds of houses. We've had tornadoes. I mean, this is not an area that typically sees them, but man, we've had them for the last decade almost consistently. So anybody who doesn't believe in global warming or climate change, it's changing. So that's our loss for today.
In Toronto.
Michael, what have you got for us?
Well, we've got something that does connect to the CCP, John. Elon Musk apparently went to China in May. Was treated like royalty, of course, and talked about a lot of topics, including artificial intelligence. And I recently read that one of the things he said was he warned the CCP that an AI that gets a super intelligent AI that gets out of control could take control of their country and actually depose the CCP, which cases that would be a good thing. So so he's warning of a future at the same time that Musk launched his own AI.
Yep.
He launched his own AI called XAI, which is meant to understand the true nature of the universe. And hopefully with that intent, it won't kill us all. So I think
it's going to kill us all. It's HAL 2001, baby.
For now, I'm going to call it a found dollar. I think that's a
There you
fact.
go. Like I said to you that day, you sent me the article that must sign that paper with everybody else. I told you, and
Yeah,
a day later he
did.
came out with it.
You did.
They're all full of crap. They're all trying to go ahead. They all think they're going to rule the world, which is really what Mission Impossible 7 is about the super mission. I will say this really quick. Mission Impossible 7, if you have not seen it, go see it. It's very in tune to what's going on in the world today. I'm not giving anything away. It is about AI. It's phenomenal.
Have you
Now,
joined the Church of Scientology since I last spoke to you, Stephen?
no, I actually, my people, we started that and we get money every month from them. So we're good because, Jews, we own everything. Next week, we have a very special show again. We have the author Michael Collins is coming back because Mr. Collins felt he left the last show on a negative note that the world was coming to an end, which it is. So he's going to come and tell us why the world isn't coming to an end, which it is. But he's going to try to make us feel better about ourselves. But he's going to have a picture this time.
Yes, he'll have video next time. He'll come bearing signs of hope for the U.S. economy.
Yeah.
Or any economy.
So I will disappear, and Mr. Collins will appear.
Because
you guys almost look like just like each other, so it'll be very nice.
Yeah.
So don't forget, everybody, to subscribe and like. The show goes live, if you will, every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, New York City time, or EST. So, and on a podcast at the same thing. Leave your comments below. If you're an expert in a field and you think you want to join us and you want to come on the show, come on the show and debate us, or come talk. If you wrote a book like Meister Collins, come and tell us about your book. So there you go. That's it, guys. It's always a pleasure.
All right.
We'll see everybody next time.